Biden family corruption finally unearthed, according to the House Oversight Committee. The Democrat Party seems fraught with corruption, yet oftentimes it's not investigated. So we're talking about from Baltimore City here with Safe Streets to Joe Biden benefiting from overseas pay to play. We're going to talk about it. Massive pro Hamas protest in D.C. this weekend, filled with damage to public property. The Nashville mass shooter manifesto was full of anti-white racism. Where is this coming from, and how did we get here? We're going to talk about that. Also, trans mania. Yes, transgender mania. Starting with a model named Glamour magazine named a trans woman of the year. Then we have a trans girl injured a biological girl on the hockey field. And now the left Democrats, the Biden administration, is championing prisoners getting sex change surgery, and we're paying for it. We're going to talk about it. And then lastly, Candace Owens and Officer Tatum debate whether women should be in leadership. Also, it's not lastly, we're going to also sound off on Hillary Clinton being on The View this week. All that and more next. Hello, it's Wednesday and it's time for Pop and Politics. We are talking about the latest in hot topics, news, and entertainment. I'm KJ. Let me introduce you to my co-hosts. Have here Crystal Jenkins. Hey. We have T, and of course, Shelly E. Join the conversation by leaving a comment on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show. And don't just comment, subscribe. Subscribe to our social media so you always know when we post new content. Also, if you miss us on YouTube, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify under Pop and Politics. So you can definitely check us out on your ride to and from work, or whenever you're in the car, you can check us out on there. Also, we are on Rumble, so you can check us out on there as well. We are an independent media, and again, each time you subscribe, each time you listen to us, it helps to make our voice that much stronger. And again, as I mentioned, we're independent, so we always appreciate the donations. Any donations you can give to help us keep this production going is greatly appreciated. You can check us out on our website at www.popandpoliticslive.com. Again, for up-to-date information, we are a necessary voice in news and entertainment. All right, ladies, let's set it off.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So we are starting off tonight with the big corruption scandal that's being unearthed regarding the Bidens. So today it has finally happened, guys. Woohoo! According to the Washington Examiner, the House Oversight Committee issued three subpoenas today for President Joe Biden, his son, of course, Hunter Biden, and his brother, James Biden, and the Biden family business associate, Rob Walker. So these are the three of the most consequential subpoenas that the House Oversight Chairman, James Comer, has filed during his investigation. The subpoenas are for the depositions for testimony related to the House GOP's impeachment inquiry. Hunter Biden and James Biden are centerpieces of Comer's investigation into Biden and his family overseas businesses. Take a look at this. This is clip number one that kind of lays it out what they are actually subpoena and investigating for Biden.
We now have the bank records. And remember, you asked about specific transactions. We didn't know about the 2 checks to Joe Biden until 3 weeks ago. This has taken a long time. to subpoena and obtain all the bank records. And I don't think the average American can imagine how many different bank accounts and how many different banks and how many different companies, and most of them were shell companies, if not all of them, that we were dealing with. We had to find them all. We had to request the information, then subpoena the information, and then hope and work with the banks to obtain it. We have it all. Then the hard part, we had to trace the money. Now we've traced the money to where we can look at specific transactions, trace them back to the country of their origin, and trace them all the way through the shell companies, all the way through the money laundering processes to 10 different Biden family members. So I would expect very soon those 10 different Biden family members to be coming in front of Congress and answering specific questions. Here's how that happened. First, Northern International Capital, a Chinese company associated with CEFC, wired $5 million to Hudson West 3, a joint venture established by Hunter Biden and a CEFC associate. Then Hudson West 3 sent $400,000 to an entity owned and controlled by Hunter Biden. Next, Hunter Biden wired $150,000 to Lion Hall Group, a company owned by James and Sarah Biden. Sarah Biden then withdrew $50,000 in cash from Lion Hall Group. Later the same day, she deposited it into her and James Biden's personal checking account. A few days later, Sarah Biden cut a check to Joe Biden for $40,000. The memo line of the check said loan repayment. Like the payment to Joe from AmeriCorps funds, it's certainly plausible that this payment where James and Sarah used funds from China was indeed a loan payment to Joe. But even if this $40,000 check was a loan repayment from James Biden, it still shows how Joe benefited from his family cashing in on his name.
Wow. So, Shelley, I mean, we're used to this in Baltimore. You guys, I don't know if you guys are familiar with The Wire. Yeah, we know about laundering money, but this from the President of the United States. What are your thoughts there?
As much as this is a Biden corruption scandal, if you want to call it that, I'm going to stand on that this is a part of the government, the big government. And the bigger government gets, the more opportunities there are for corruption. And guess who's paying for it? We are. Joe and Susie Smith, whomever, taxpayer. We are paying for it. The bigger the government, the smaller the citizen. That's what Dennis Prager always says.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go to you, Crystal. I know you've been waiting for this. We had the big melee within the Republican caucus where they got rid of the speaker. You were waiting for the subpoenas. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm bored, and I'm going to say that. You guys are playing games, okay? Like, seriously. They are playing chess, and y'all not even playing chess. Y'all playing, I heard this guy say, connect full with the bottom out. Like, y'all just not even in the game. Like, seriously. The silent treatment is not working. Conservatives, the silent treatment is not working. You remember Auntie Maxine? Get in their faces. Get on the phone. Blow your congressmen up. Literally, when you see those people, draw a crowd. This is your money. This is your life. This is your kids' inheritance that they're playing with. And I just don't think that we're mad enough. I don't think that we're mad enough.
Yeah, I want to go to UT. You know, now we have seen, as Crystal has said, all across the TV screens, the news, they've talked Trump,
Yeah.
New York, Florida, all over the place. His trials, nothing about this.
Nothing.
What are your thoughts, T?
I mean, it's about time. It's about damn time they come for Sleepy Joe, because he's probably sleeping somewhere. Like, after he got the money, he got the check and he's asleep. But they definitely should come for him, and it's time that they come for him, just like they're doing Trump. Like, we haven't seen it in the news, but at least we know, thanks to us, I guess, because we the only ones that are sorry, y'all.
Okay.
I almost got a little T-ish, but we're the only ones that are covering this. So it's about time.
Yeah.
So I say frequently, follow the money. But for some reason, Americans in general, and maybe conservatives to a specific point, we don't follow the money. I was looking at this, some information about how much the government has grown. So according to USA Facts, since 2022, the government has the billions of dollars. It's up 630 billion added to the trillions that we already have from taxpayers, right? That equates to about $16,000 additional that taxpayers we are paying. I don't know what it's going to take because I think my money, I work hard for my money. Like Vanessa Williams says, or whatever the song is, right? We work hard for our money. Why this does not jive and jitter and jar conservatives? We're supposed to be the fiscally conservative ones. We're supposed to be the ones counting the pennies and know how much everything costs, but we don't. We don't. We let this stuff go on. And not only that, we conservatives, we also contribute to making the government bigger. Yes, I'm going to say this. It might offend some people and maybe agree with some. But even under Trump, under Bush, under Republicans, our government has grown. So we can't ignore that. We need to cut back. Also under Trump, he was trying to deregulate some things to make some things smaller. But it does not really give due justice for the amount of money that we are paying. And we pay for these subpoenas, the impeachments. We pay for all the court documents, whatever, from the federal government on down. It is coming out of our money. We are paying these jokers basically to be corrupt. We're paying for it.
And we're paying for the attorneys that you guys love so much that are prosecuting Trump for white collar crimes that he quote unquote did. Like, this is ridiculous. And I'm telling you, it has everything to do, like Shelley said, with conservative cowardice. What are you afraid of? Like, you're not gonna get invited to the Christmas party? I mean, like, it's so annoying at this point. Like, literally, we have to make our voices known, because I believe wholeheartedly that we are the silent majority. Most of us got good sense, and we're allowing these people to run our children's inheritance, and I will keep saying it, into the ground in the name of being accepted. And it's annoying.
Well,
I'm sure they can hear you from here.
Good.
But I'm saying, we talk about nepotism when it comes to, they talk about nepotism when it comes to Trump, but clearly,
yes,
we're seeing the trail, follow the money. We're seeing the trail of nepotism here, even though I don't have a problem with nepotism.
I don't either.
When it's in our money,
exactly,
then it's a problem.
Well, guys, this is really scary. I mean, the amount of money that they're saying that Biden and his family have gotten from China, from these allegedly from China. I mean, he's bought and paid for. So if they've given him this money, then what has Biden given China?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Access. He's giving them access. He's giving them appeasement. He's giving them, okay, you do whatever you want with Russia and whatever, your interest and your influence in Africa, and we're going to stand back because we need all these Chinese goods that come to the ports, right? All the illegal stuff that comes through there as well. Just come on over, China. They go into our colleges and they infiltrate, or whatever you want to call it, from the college level, and they make all these donations. It has to stop. And again, I always thought with my side, yes, they are corrupt, but my side, the conservative side, we allow it.
Absolutely.
We are so afraid, like Crystal said, we're afraid of we won't get invited to the ball. Who the hell cares?
Nope.
We name drop and we want to look good too, granted, but let's do it. Let's kick their asses out, okay? Take our money to our own banks.
Yeah, every single conservative, if you guys are not in your in the inboxes of your congressman, like, Congress is the most it's a big joke now. Every time I see Rashida Tlaib up there, like, really? Girl, go to Palestine. You like it so much. And seriously, like, we need to get in their faces. They need to hear our emails. They need to hear our phone calls. We need to literally be relentless, because we are the ones that are losing at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, we are here in Baltimore, as many of you guys know, we're here in Baltimore, Maryland, and the first stop when Joe Biden was elected was here in Baltimore. And now we know we connect the dots, because Baltimore is full of corrupt leaders, full of corrupt leadership in the Democrat Party. We have a scandal going on here now. The mayor has been a big proponent of a organization here in Baltimore called Safe Streets, and we have our own corruption going on. Take a look at this. This is clip number 2.
Well, WJZ has now learned that the FBI raided the Safe Streets Bel Air Edison location of Bel Air Road earlier today. As you know, Safe Streets is Baltimore's anti-violence program. A spokesperson for the FBI tells us their agents were conducting, and I quote, court-authorized activity, but they would not confirm details of that activity. WJZ asked Mayor Scott about today's raid. He says he agrees with holding everyone accountable, including Safe Streets.
What I directed the police department to do is to hold any and everybody accountable for wrongdoing, no matter who they are. And we work with our federal partners every day, and we'll continue to through this investigation and any others that we come up with working in that partnership.
The Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, also known as MOST, currently oversees the Safe Streets program. Over the past few months, the program has been called into question in the wake of the Brooklyn Day mass shooting, where Safe Streets members were said to have been present.
So you guys know that was the news here in Baltimore City, but this has countrywide national ramifications. One is, again, this Safe Streets organization was raided by the FBI, one of their locations here in Baltimore City, but yet still, last Wednesday, the Board of Estimates here in Baltimore voted to receive $3.6 million in state funding to the Safe Streets program. Right. So this organization has been clearly corrupt. It hasn't been working here, and they were just awarded $3.6 million via state funding.
Yeah.
So again, we have this idea of corruption.
Corruption. We started to talk about national corruption, but let's look. This corruption goes at every level of government, from local on up to federal level. So the bigger the government gets, we have more taxes, more crime, bigger government. We have more social services. Nothing gets better. You can again, I say to wrap up everybody in bubble wrap, but the damn bubbles are popped because nothing's happening. And not only that, this corruption with Safe Street, our streets are not safe. Period. Okay? Our streets are not safe. And this grant that they got, people hear the word grant, they get all giddy, oh, I got money. Just take out grant and put in taxpayers, because that's where the grant is coming from.
It's your money.
It's our money. It's just recycled at local, state, and federal level. So again, corrupt Safe Streets. How many Safe Street workers, again, these people who are supposed to be, what do they call them? Violence interrupters. Right. They are part of the damn violence. They are part of the violence.
Interventionists.
Some of them have been murdered. Some of them have been, we just had an FBI raid on one of the Safe Streets locations. Not the first one, to mind you. But then the mayor talks about they're like police. Really? The police have so much oversight when they just shoot a man, like we just did this week, for having a gun. This is so corrupt. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't even know if we're at the point where it can be repaired or changed back around, because it seems like no matter where Democrats are, for the most part, yes, Republicans have contributed, but for the most part, the majority of the cases where Democrats proliferate, so do their damn policies that pulverize. I'm going to say that again. They pulverize the damn people, and our communities are not better for it.
Right.
But y'all keep...
E wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
I'm telling you, I'm sorry. When I hear anybody, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it was my grandmother. When I hear anybody say, we need more laws, we need more government, well, the government should do whatever, I cringe.
My thing is, thank you for that rant. My thing is, now all of a sudden they found money. Where does this money coming from?
They can't get trash cans.
They don't have the money for the schools, but now they got billions of dollars for Safe Streets.
Yeah.
Like, we need the children need the money. Pour into the children, and now
the children don't
have
need no
the money.
You know
they
what
have
they
the
need?
money.
Hold on, let me see my shirt. They need y'all to vote them out. That's what they need, okay? Because I don't care where you are. I don't care what you do. If you leave a bunch of children around, it'll be Lord of the Flies. And that's what we have in Baltimore. Even in Seattle, they had you remember they said we don't want in Seattle they said we don't want no more police, and then eventually they started having their own government because that's the way human beings are. So they say they don't want Baltimore City police officers, or they don't want, and we want to police our own communities. Soon we'll have mob bosses and everything else. You guys don't get it, especially black folks. And so that's why the people with good sense have to come out of hiding and say, look, I don't want these people in charge of anything that I got going on, especially my money and my kids.
Right. Well,
yeah.
The times have changed now. When policing in a community worked is when the Black Panthers and those organizations were doing what they were supposed to do.
When we didn't have our own when they didn't have police that were willing to police us fairly.
I mean, they had police, right. In the communities.
Yes.
But we don't even have black people just stepping up.
We don't have that now. It worked back then, but we don't have it now.
Right. Yeah, because integrity is suffering. We don't have fathers. We don't have men that are serious. Black folks is on there doing TikTok dances.
We don't have them because, and I can't really say I blame them as much as the police are important. We don't have them because who the hell wants to come into the goddamn city?
I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me.
Put their life on the line.
You couldn't pay me.
When something happens, they turn on the police automatically.
You couldn't
They want to go home at the end of the day too. I don't blame no people for making that conscious decision. Do I want my life? Do I want my job so I can take care of my family? Or do I want to be strummed up somewhere?
Yeah, let them kill each other.
Tarred and feathered by the community.
I mean, the major vein, or the one thing that runs true through all of this is Democratic control.
Yes.
Bam.
And Democrats, we've seen throughout the last 4 or so years, these continuing slogans of defund the police, Black Lives Matter, all of these things. And now the new slogan is Free Palestine. So, just within D.C. here, again, we're in Baltimore. D.C. is just about 45 minutes away. Over the weekend, tens of thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters massed in Washington, D.C. Saturday afternoon before descending upon the White House to chant Allah Akbar and F. Joe Biden as they accused the president. As they accused the president of genocide and demanded a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Take a look. This is clip number 4.
And he is a member of the Palestinian Youth Movement. And he is a member of the Palestinian Youth Movement.
I mean, so when you look at that videography, it almost looks like, it doesn't look like DC. It looks like Palestine. It looks like some Middle Eastern country. But again, they were shouting from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. The crowd dotted with Palestinian flags and signs. Many statues were vandalized, and graffiti was placed all over throughout DC. So how did we get here? I mean, I'm going to start with you, Shelley. How did we get here?
We got here. Many of those people, I don't know what the numbers are exactly, but many of those people are young people, first of all. They're young people. They really don't have responsibilities other than maybe they go to school. But again, I'm going to start with my side. Conservatives are just as much to blame because we are the ones who send our children to school, and like we're talking about being accepted, we want them to have the title, oh, my child goes to Harvard, my child goes to Yale, and all that. And they're getting educated to go against the very values that sustain the country where they can go to the Yales and the Harvards. I think that's part of it. Number 2, all those people there, this is planned, this is coordinated. They don't have homes and responsibilities. How the hell they get there? They descended on D.C. to make it look like a damn open air market somewhere, like you say, in the Middle East. This is unreal, and they're touting basically kill Jews. Right? Palestine is whatever, but guess what? Many of the places that they claim that where people are oppressed, they won't bring their asses into the city because the cities that they support and the people, they look like that too.
It looked like January 6th to me.
Yeah.
It does. And so I want to know, this is all I want to know. Can y'all please answer this for me? Where are the provocateurs with the cameras. Why y'all don't get y'all senators to hide under the desk because they fear for their lives? Like, what is going on? Where is Ray? We'll call him. We'll call him Ray Caruth. Oh. Where's Ray Caruth? No, sorry, but where's Ray? Go. They did to us. They did this to us, and they got our people, our conservative people, in a DC jail somewhere for just fighting for what they thought they believed in. And in America, and these folks are over here causing problems in your city, fighting for Palestine, fighting for another place, and you guys are not taking enough issue with this, and it's crazy to me.
Well, I want to get your thoughts on this, T, because I mean, the same people that we're seeing here that are out in the streets chanting "Free Palestine," they kind of fall within the same lines of these other groups, BLM, Antifa. They're all kind of like that same sort of crew. What are your thoughts? How did we get here?
Soft ass people.
Soft.
These are the trophy kids.
Yep.
They didn't win the games. They got trophies.
Yep.
And here we are, and these are the signs of the times of all of that is culminated into everybody wants to feel soft, or everyone wants to be accepted, and Palestinians are being, in America, they're protesting for Palestinians when we're supposed to be protecting the Jews or protecting Israel, which, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I get it because not everyone is monolithic and we have different feelings and different beliefs for different things, but the victim mentality is strong here.
Yep.
And this is what we get. The protest, like they'd rather go and protest for that than to protest for your children getting a strong education or something. They're protesting the wrong thing.
And then you talk
weird.
about right, and you talk about victims. I mean, we're looking. There's another thing that's been going on within urban cities all throughout the country, where people have been putting up signs of these hostages, of the children that were taken by the Hamas terrorists on that fateful day of October 7th. There've been signs that have been put up in cities across the country, and people are actually tearing them down. Take a look at this. This is clip number 3.
Hey guys, look what they're doing. You guys want to say your name or no?
I don't want to tell you my name.
You guys want to put your name? Really? You guys scared?
So this is what we're talking about. I mean, the posters don't include any extensive editorial comment or gory content. They are unadorned. They have the name and age as well as the photo of the hostage or hostages that were taken on that fateful day. They include a brief factual statement about the number of Israelis killed, wounded, and kidnapped. And these people are tearing it down. Shelly, why would they do that? I don't understand what the issue is.
Part of it is that education has been decoupled from values. Let me just give you two models. Harvard's motto is veritas, means truth. Princeton, talk about these elite institutions. These are the things that the people that they're turning out who have absolutely no foundation. They might know things in their head, but they don't know how it fits in a moral framework. Princeton's motto is, let me make sure I'm quoting it right, under the protection of God, she flourishes. And it talks about in the service of the nation and in humanity. These are the mottos. So the educational institutions have strayed far away from the values on which they were founded, not to mention the values that undergirded our country to keep our country, America the beautiful. No, but we, again, whatever, conservatives, certainly the left, liberals, whatever, we are so caught up in being like, I'm going to say like Crystal said, accepted, and we want to look good and look the part and have all of the accolades while our children are literally being trained to go against their own family and parents.
Yeah, but
that makes, I mean, it's just ludicrous.
Yeah, but I would have to say a little different. Like I said, like, y'all, what game are y'all playing? Like, are we playing, okay, I put up a flyer, you take it down? Like, conservative, why are you even bothered with it? Like seriously, like, why are we going back and forth with, first of all, these children?
It's not just children.
No, these anybody that walk around, if I put up a flyer, you take down a flyer, and I put up a flyer, you take down a flyer. None of that is solving any of our problems. Y'all need to get serious about this thing. Like I said, y'all are playing Connect 4 with the bottom down. Y'all need to get in front of the people that can actually help. You fighting with college students who ain't got nothing to lose is stupid.
Well, I mean, it's not just college students. I mean, look at this. Look what we just saw released this week, the Nashville mass shooter manifesto. And we're talking about, I mean, it starts actually in high school, I'd say. But we have this mentality, this social theory that all groups who have been oppressed must join together and they must go against what they call the oppressor. And the oppressor are white people. And we see this in this Nashville mass shooter manifesto. So podcast host Steven Crowder released what appeared to be 3 pages of writings from the shooter who killed 3 children and 3 adult employees at a Christian school in Nashville earlier this year. Nashville Police Chief John Drake confirmed the authenticity of the writings attributed to school shooter Audrey Hale, as the city's mayor ripped the fact that they leaked the to conservative commentator Steve Crowder. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I mean, it's pretty shocking. So, you know, within this published 3 handwritten pages authored by Hale, before the materials indicated deep anti-white animus, according to the New York Post, especially towards those Hale who was deeply troubled, identified as transgender. So she said the leak includes 3 pages. Though the shooter reportedly left behind hundreds of pages, the documents reportedly left behind in the shooter's vehicle include her desire to kill, and I quote, crackers. And I'm telling you, I'm not talking about Nabisco. With white privilege. Another page says, kill those kids, those crackers going to private fancy schools with those fancy kids, fancy khakis and sports backpacks, and their daddies. Mustangs and convertibles. She then directs a tirade of profanity at children with mops of yellow hair using a gay slur. So, I mean, where does this kind of thinking, where are we going wrong? Why are they thinking about this in the context of anti-white hate?
Because we've been paying for it. We have been paying for it. We have been sending our children to these schools, whatever they may be, from kindergarten on up. We've let other people and other ideologies shape our children's very young and immature and ignorant minds. And then we thought it was cute. We think it's cute that we can blame this oppression narrative. Anybody who's oppressed, black people, trans people, LGBTQ, whatever, they're going to latch onto it. And the white man is the automatic perpetrator. This is like Marxism. Like, I'm sound like y'all, I guess, right? Like Marxism, workers of the world unite. They want to overturn and destroy America. They want to turn our country into another, I'm going to say, third world.
Well, let me ask you this, because, and I wanted to ask you this, T, and to our audience, because, you know, we're all black women. But I don't understand how white people, and I say that, you know, with all due respect, white people can sit by and let this
They're afraid.
They're crazy.
Go forward. They are afraid of the mob that will literally attack them.
Well, then they deserve exactly what they get.
But
because that's what cowardice gets you. I'm telling you, there's actually a scripture in the Bible that y'all say that y'all care so much about it. And it talks about cowardice that will be in the lake of fire.
No,
that's what it says.
Here. But that's why I'm afraid.
Okay, so I don't care about cowardice in the lake of fire and all that stuff. White people. To be honest with you, I don't care about white people. I don't care about. Well, let me clarify.
They know the clarifying. That's what
I mean, I said what I said.
Right.
But I don't. It's not. In this case, I'm gonna say it's not about race. Like it's
not about
all of us.
Yes.
all of us are soft as hell. It's not even about white people. Black people are oppressed. White people have white guilt. Well, white liberals have white guilt, but the white conservatives aren't doing anything.
Exactly.
We see your comments. It's like, oh, not me. I'm not that white person, white liberal. Right. Yes, you are, because you're on YouTube making comments. You're not out here saying, hey, this is not me. I'm white, and I wasn't your slave owner.
Get a shirt. Get a shirt.
I'm not your slave owner, so it wasn't me. But white people, I mean, we don't care. It doesn't matter about white people.
And how about all these oppressed groups get together and get a job? Build something.
Wait.
How about y'all all get together and do something?
Why would they do that when they can get grants from the government, from the local?
Oh yeah, like the government.
It pays for itself. It pays for itself.
And that's what y'all don't understand. The government is not selling T-shirts. The government don't have a farm somewhere. No. The government money is your money, dummy.
But my question is, and my issue with this whole thing is, we are in 2023. You know, Civil War happened, over 50, 60 years ago? Probably more than that.
More than that.
Yeah, centuries ago.
Something years ago.
Yeah. So aren't we supposed to be post-racial? Why are we still in a situation where we're pitting white people against black people?
Because we didn't get our 40 acres and a mule.
Whatever.
We're still waiting.
It would have been gone. It would have been gone. It would have been gone just like them stimulus checks. It would have been gone.
Rely on these so-called self-appointed black spokespeople, right? They say we're still waiting, but guess what? They making millions. The Patrice Cullors, the Al Sharptons,
exactly.
They got more than 40 damn mules.
Exactly.
They got more 40 mules and more than 40 acres, but yet they still want to use the rest of us for their own benefit, and we still haven't done anything except bitch, whine, and complain.
So you're saying that it's a grift.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a hustle.
I'm gonna go on record and say it didn't start here in Black America. Of course. It's in Africa too. Africa is fucked up too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
In the first place, we're not in Africa, but we're I mean, some people are from there or whatever, black people. But anyway,
I'm Japanese.
I was born.
Some of us are Asians. Asians are
I was born again.
The global backs. However,
I was born again. Hallelujah.
My point is, everyone, is that it's not Black America. Black people is something in our DNA where we just can't get it together. And I don't understand where.
I don't agree with that.
I am going to say I said on record.
I think it is a Black America thing.
We have not been
Black American.
In Africa, even there are other countries. Chinese are taking over Africa, and they're letting them.
Yes,
they're letting okay. You just come in and take over, and we don't fight for their African soil.
In Africa,
African soil is the richest soil ever, and they're letting the Chinese come and rape you.
The coal,
what is it about Black people that we just don't get it? We can't get it together.
And
it's not the white man.
It's not the white.
It's us.
It's us. And honestly, it has everything to do with we are a godless society. Like seriously,
we're the
Black
first.
folks.
I don't agree with that.
We are God. Like
we are the most connected to God.
No. We are the most.
We are.
No, we are the furthest from God. Look at our homes. Look at our schools. Look at our community. Yeah, now. But it wasn't always like that. And when it wasn't like that, we were successful. Right. That is just the truth. It has nothing to do with our DNA. And that's why I say people hate the Jews. Well, just open up a book called the Torah, and that you can have much success as they do. But we want to do everything opposite of the God who made you, and then sitting up here wondering why you got diabetes, high blood pressure because of the food you eat. You wonder why you broke. The borrower is slave to the lender. Like if you don't work, you don't eat. A man who doesn't care for his own household is worse than an infidel. These are all things that we can practice and we choose not to, and then sit here and wonder and pray and shout from the ceiling fans and hallelujah and speak in tongues and cast out demons, and you still stuck. I wouldn't serve the God that you serve.
Which is not what we're supposed to be doing
today. And I'm going to maybe since the civil rights movement, since the civil rights era, white people are basically the golden calf to black people. We idolize, I'm saying I don't.
It's true.
But we idolize white people for good or bad.
I agree.
It's always the man or the man, as they say in the hood. It's always the white man that's gonna keep you down, po-po, this, whatever. White people are basically the golden calf to black people.
We're the ones that make white people.
Yeah.
We're the ones that keep white supremacy alive.
I wonder if white
And
people, do y'all want it
because-
to be true? Like, do white people want it to
White
be
people
true?
don't even care.
No. Listen, hear me out. Sometimes I wonder if they want it to be true. Like, if somebody was telling you, you know what, you have privilege because of your skin. Like that kind of
like he said, the white liberals,
like
but white people, they're going about their lives, their families and their property and whatever, their businesses, they're going on success. Do or die, fail or thrive on its own merits.
It's
They
us.
don't care about us. They're not thinking about us.
I agree.
We don't occupy that space in their mind about like we do vice versa.
In our own mind.
I agree.
But speaking of occupying the mind, Hillary Clinton still is. Trump still occupies the mind of Hillary Clinton. And we are going to talk about her. She was on The View this week, and this leads to our counter segment. Our segment of Counter View. Take a look.
It's hard. You're cute and submissive. It's hard. I am a man repellent. It's hard. Because all I do is go to gay events and drag shows and anything to make a buck, save a buck. Anything to make a buck. It's hard.
Wait a minute.
That's it.
I didn't see that. Wait, I gotta see.
This was the first week.
Am I sunny? Was I sunny?
We don't know. We're going to look at it later.
Okay.
This was the first week we rolled that out with the bobbleheads.
Our producer, Mr. Frazier, he surprised us with that. So that was this is a what they call it, premiere.
Yeah.
We watched it when you watched it.
Yeah.
Debut.
Our debut of that little
Counter View segment.
This isn't the first Counter View segment. This was the first time we showed that montage. So definitely. So
it's hard.
We want to talk about this week. Hillary Clinton came back from out of her hole. And she, you guys have probably seen Biden's numbers for the general election next year have plummeted. And now they are pulling out every surrogate, every past president. Probably Michelle Obama will be out soon. But specifically, Hillary Clinton was on The View this week. And what does she do? She goes after Trump. Take a look at this.
What, in your view, would happen if he were to be reelected?
Oh, I can't even think that, because I think it would be the end of our country as we know it. And I don't say that lightly. I hated losing, and I especially hated losing to him because I had seen so many warning signals during the campaign. But I immediately said, look, we have to give him a chance. We've got to support, the president we have. And I meant it. And I tried really hard. And then literally from his inauguration on, it was nothing but, accusing people of things, making up facts, denying the size of the crowd at his own inauguration. And everything that I worried about, I saw unfolding. And so I think that he'd be even worse now because he was somewhat restrained, believe it or not, in the first term by people who he hired because he thought they would go along with him, and they stood up to him.
All right, guys. So I don't know. Should we give you guys some time to go to the bathroom?
Yes.
Throw up and then come back.
Yes.
So I don't know, but I couldn't stomach her. I could not stomach her. I can't even believe she's coming out talking about this after she illegally and corruptive and it was part of so much corruption behind Trump's candidacy. I can't even believe she even has the nerve and to even speak. I want to get your thoughts on this, Shelley.
Okay, again, I agree with you with that vomit bag, and that's why I brought some bleach, right? So we can clean up the vomit. But remember, she talks about when he was restrained and all the line. When she was Secretary of State, this wench, okay? CDs, remember? She banged them. She took the hammer The hammer to everything. Then she wants to keep talking about, I got the honey for you, Krista. So she got me all riled up, right? The honey. This woman, over 30,000 pages or CDs that she banged and bleached away. She did all of that, talking about corruption. Then she's talking about Biden or whomever wants, Trump want to put people in jail. Well, the last I looked, her party was putting people in jail.
Yes.
Like the January
Joe Biden.
Right. Joe Biden.
1992.
IRS.
Restrained. She's not restrained.
Kamala Harris.
She started off right. She said that she was still sad or upset that she didn't win. That's the problem. She didn't win, and so she wants to come back and wants to talk about Trump. She wants, he's lying and whatever he's saying. Hillary Clinton is full of air. We need to blow her out, bang all that shit out of her like she did the damn CDs that she tore. She lied. We talking about corruption. Corruption. This wench is so corrupt. So freaking corrupt. She actually spells the word. Hillary is spelled corrupt. What she's afraid of is that Trump will drain the swamp. That's what she's afraid of. That's what he's telling us. I mean, the nerve of her.
No, it really is shocking.
I just want her to get some
Trump dick.
I wasn't gonna say I don't know about Trump dick, but I just want her to get some. Like if Hillary, I think she's a lesbian actually.
I don't give a damn. She's lying.
And I think she's a lesbian. However, where did she come from? Like this whole since what 2020? She's been she's probably in the basement with Joe Biden, but she just all of a sudden want to pop up on The View of all places.
Yeah,
and talk shit.
And I think I'm gonna come from it this angle, like, stop watching these people. You talk about corrupt. Honestly, I don't even care nothing about Hillary Clinton. She's a washed up politician, right? Like people end up dying under her in bills. So they're not prosecuting. But what I noticed is people who have taken basically the trust of their viewers and don't even ask this woman, I'm going to say, a question. Mm-hmm. Like literally, they're literally soaking up everything that she says. Like she says, oh, he'll be more unhinged. No one says, how so? Mm-hmm. What do you think he's gonna do? No one asks a question. When they say, hey, Sheila, hold on. Yeah. Oh, he's just gonna lie.
They were like this.
When you say lie, Hillary, what exactly did he lie about? Like literally all she said, the only example that she gave was, oh, he lies about how many people showed up his inauguration crowd.
They say that, right.
And no one is calling her on that. You guys,
who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? But you know what, you guys? This is the problem. Y'all are letting these people force feed you what they want. And you need to spam that daggone View inbox and say, y'all suck. Y'all are not journalists. Y'all are nothing because y'all have abandoned your oath, which was to provide the truth.
Yeah, and talk about truth. I mean, this woman has spent her entire career lying. She lied about Benghazi. She lied about the Steele dossier. She lied about her email. Right. She should have been prosecuted the way that they went after Trump. The whole Russian collusion thing was brought about because she put forward all this lies and these inaccurate and lying information, false information. Exactly. I mean, the woman has lied. She lied about whole Clinton's affairs, Bill Clinton's affairs, and taking up for him and lying to the people that he was. I mean, she's lied about so many things.
Everything.
Yeah, but you know what? Like they say, that's our expectation of Hillary Clinton. My issue is with the people that y'all allowed to program y'all. They didn't ask her one question. Did y'all not catch that?
Excuse me. Yes, she represents, what party is that? The Democrat Party.
And you know what? The Democrat Party is on
and for all
in lockstep.
For all intents and purposes, she is technically the Democrat Party's leader, if you will, because she was the last Joe Biden is, but she's right up there. But she's right up there. Yeah, but again, the issue of the matter is this.
They can't.
Krista, I brought the honey just for you. I had to fill my honey jar up because these wenches talk about Trump so much that they made me lose my honey over them because they talk about Trump and they just want to
Hey.
Hey. That's what they want.
What they want to do, Shelly? What they want, Shelly?
What they want? Honey, I mean,
what they want? They can't keep Trump's name out of their mouth.
And honestly, you guys,
slide down your throat.
It's tasty.
And honestly,
God to it.
And honestly, God bless that man. I was talking to you earlier. Like, why would you want to deal with this? Y'all are so stinking ignorant. Like, seriously, if I was him, I'd be on a jet somewhere.
You're talking
like,
about Trump.
Screw y'all. Yeah. Like, screw y'all. Like, he is literally in court. They're dragging him in court, threatening to take away his livelihood, his businesses, everything that he built. And y'all know that is false. And y'all know that is foul. And y'all, if I was him, God bless him. Because I would literally be saying, I peace out. Because the famine is coming. And when it is, I guarantee you, him and his grandkids are not going to be affected by it. It's going to be us.
Let me say this, because I'm not like MAGA, but I like Trump because he's a masculine man. And I like Trump because he's Trump. And he doesn't care about a businessman. He doesn't care about being a politician. He doesn't care about your court. F your court, judge. That's what he's telling the judge. And I love that about him.
I love it too. He's a fighter.
He's a fighter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah,
but why?
But why is he a fighter?
For people like y'all, y'all some punks, yo. Like, seriously.
I mean, he's a fighter. This is what he's a fighter. In as much as there's a split in the Republican Party about how he goes about doing what he does, he's a fighter. And this is the part that Republicans need to learn from him. Good or bad, love him or like him, he is a fighter. And this is what we need. This is one of the lessons, if you will, that we need to draw from. How to fight back. Forget these damn people. They don't give a shit about us, about us or the country, and they want to tear it up. But we don't seem to, we want to play nice and all this stuff. They want to tear it up. If somebody wants to come and tear up your home, what you gonna say?
And we're gonna be the most effective. The poor people. Your kids go to public schools. Your kids have to walk down the streets. Your kids have to walk down the streets and see the homeless, drug addicted people. Your kids have to worry about these people intimidating them and passing them fentanyl. Your kids are affected by the demise of this country,
people
and you have somebody that is willing to fight for you, and you worried about his tweets, and you worried about how he is. Oh, we don't like the way he says this. We don't like the way he says that.
Oh, he's not a
that's jet. The last thing y'all will hear me say is peace.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Look, he is out there fighting for us.
Well, we got
one thing we have to ask ourselves is what matters. I mean, as Americans, I don't think people sit and think about exactly what matters to you.
The truth.
Yes, but
should.
I mean,
my inheritance.
For me specifically, number one issue to me right now is this gender ideology that is being pushed on us, on kids and things like that. And I feel like the Democrat Party is, in lockstep with that gender ideology, and I could never vote for that. And it's a matter of life and death to me. So that's how I vote, based off of those issues. And so I just don't understand, as you mentioned, how people can be upset. He may not be the most he says certain things that may articulate and things like that, but he's standing up for these
standing up for his people.
That's
why the hood backs him.
He's business.
That's why the hood backs him.
He's business,
and he runs the country.
And unfortunately, that's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Because truth be told, I disagree that the Democrats are in lockstep, because I know a lot of them that don't agree with it, but they've been intimidated. No, they've been intimidated into a corner. Like, literally, they cannot say anything. They cannot say anything against their party. Yes, they cannot say anything against their party, and then yet and still we have Republicans that you don't agree with everything. I mean, God. Lord, you don't gotta agree with everything, but agree on the major things that are gonna affect your livelihood and your children. We got Democrats that are agreeing to indoctrinate your children into transgender when they don't even agree with it, just to be with their party.
I disagree there, though. I think it's a situation where a lot of Democrats do not either believe or understand that this is what the actual Democrat machine is doing.
I agree.
And so what's happening is it's a messaging issue, I believe personally. I don't believe that the everyday Democrat believes this stuff. And so they are again doing this. I want to thank our I have to stop, take a moment to thank our
super
chatters. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we got a whole line of super chatters.
Ed Bard. Oh, thank you so much. Kinsey 14. Ed Bard says, love the show. I am from Baltimore.
Hey, Baltimore, stand up.
Yes.
Throw your bees up. Throw your bees up.
That means blood.
BL and
Kinsey 14, you ladies offer real thought-provoking
H&K's
content.
mom.
Keep it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kinsey.
H&K's mom.
H&K's mom.
Hey, H&K's mom.
Thank you. My mama bears out there.
I hope H&K's doing well.
Yeah,
Don't
take
take H&K out of those schools.
Take them out of
got one
public
more.
school.
Yes,
BL
mama bears
camo,
on the
BL
front
camo.
line.
BLK camo.
Yes,
Black
and
camo.
then BLK Camo. Did Hillary Clinton erase her servers because she was doing a pay-for-play with foreign leaders and not because
We'll
of
never know.
Benghazi?
We'll never know because her party protects her.
Yep.
We need to start protecting our Trump. We need to start protecting our Matt Gaetz. We need to start. No, we don't. We don't. He out there fighting by himself. Let me tell you, nobody would even come out and say that they're a Trump supporter. And by the way, I'm getting me a Trump 2024 like sign for my yard. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm sick of y'all.
Free Trump.
All right, so we do have to
Hashtag
move
free
on.
Trump.
Speaking of these policies that are pushed and supported by the Democrat Party, we're moving on to trans mania. So, and when I say that, I mean the transgender cult. I have to call it a cult now. A transgender cult, the transgender agenda. Take a look at this. This is clip number 6.
I like men. I like cis men. Hey, if you told me that it would have been like this, child. And I mean that as in like girl. It's hell. It's hell. Like it's literally like hell if you are transgender and you like cis men.
Dude, no.
This is out of hand.
We should get a full one, Chad.
This is, I mean.
What the fuck?
What was that?
WTF, y'all?
The wheelchair, though, and the little legs, a mess.
Oh my God, that is disgusting.
My guy.
I don't know who dressed him, but they need to be under the jail, like KJ said. That is disgusting. This is a quadriplegic. I think the guy who said something about a 4-in-1 transformer, right? You see his little atrophied leg. He can't even control that muscle. What the hell is he doing? This is disgusting.
It's
disgusting.
It is disgusting.
I don't have the words.
Too far.
I know.
It's gone too far.
It's gone too far. And then he calling them cis men. First of all, sir, I don't know.
What ain't no cis
First of all, exactly, a cis man don't want you. Okay.
You ain't got no legs.
A straight man is not going to want you in your booty hole. Nobody wants your booty hole.
No man gonna want him. Not even a woman, because he is a man by himself.
They gotta pick him up.
No, but he
gotta clean his ass.
No, first of all,
They gotta clean him first. They gotta clean him before they can screw him.
And clean up afterwards.
Right.
So first of all,
but he got him out.
You know, there are people that do suffer from this condition. I'm not talking about his mental condition. I'm talking about the physical condition. And you know, my heart goes out to those people.
Mine don't.
But this is a mental issue.
It's a mental issue.
If you can't see it from that, I don't know what we can tell you.
Wheelchair. I mean, you can't make this out.
Yeah.
Real life is so much better than the movies. You cant make it out. I mean,
this is just
art
the
imitates
beginning.
life.
So
Yeah,
this is what we're talking about. We're talking about this transgender, agenda, and so again, this something else happened this week. So we're talking about that. We're talking about these prisoners who are getting sex change surgeries paid for by you, by me, through our taxpayer funds.
Here we go. That's what we started with.
And we're talking about a tragic accident, an accident that occurred. Social media users were outraged on Friday after claims that a male athlete on a girls' high school field hockey team injured an opposing player in Massachusetts So during a game between Swampscott and Denton Rehoboth High Schools last Thursday, I think, a player lifted the ball into the air while taking a shot on a goal. The ball hit a player on the opposing team in the face, prompting the girl to scream out. So this has been it's a viral video, but I mean, she fragmented her face. I mean, this was a transgender girl, so a guy, biological male, playing as a girl with other females, and just almost pretty much broke her face.
Right.
So this is what we're dealing with this trans agenda. I mean, how did we get here, Shelley?
We got here because of lunacy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's bottom line. But you know what? I'm not going to say I'm good for this girl, because there have been other incidents where these men pretend that they have dicks, dicks acting like chicks. They pretend that they are women, and they injured real women, quote unquote cis women, in these sports. But this is what I don't understand. This is BS, because all of these feminist groups, women are important, and, women, you can be Rosie the Rivet or whatever, they are silent.
Yeah.
They are silent.
Yep.
I have said before, and I really think this is part of it. I'm laughing because it's ludicrous. I really think that this is a man's revenge to beat women's asses, not be prosecuted for it. Because they have been whatever, the matriarchy. They've been corrupted as well. I mean, mentally corrupted. Men have been abused, misused, maybe by their single mothers, maybe by their absentee fathers, whatever. But I think this is one way they're going to get revenge, particularly on the women, their mothers, the sisters, whomever. They are beating women's asses and getting away with it.
No.
So let me talk. I want to get your thoughts on this, Crystal, because I mean, we're both moms. I mean, what do our kids have to look forward to? Because it doesn't look like this is going away.
No.
These people are retarded. They're retarded. They're slow. They are in the sunken place. And we with good sense need to say, you have a mental health problem. If I believe that I'm in the wrong body, and I want to chop off my genitals, then you would say, Crystal, back in the day, this transgendered or body dysmorphia was considered a mental health until people got together. But here's the solace in all of this. It's going to be over in a while. Trust me, it's going to be over in a while. A society cannot be sustained this way. When you take men that are supposed to be protectors and supposed to be fathers and supposed to be in the home, and you make them women, trust me, this society, other societies, China is just sitting back waiting. Because let me tell you something. They like, okay, you gonna make all your men women?
Yep.
Okay, then we'll come over there and we'll use that oil under your feet. You go ahead and remove Donald Trump. We'll use that oil. We'll drill, baby, drill for you, while your men want to be women and your women want to be men. It's not going to last. The society will not last. So trust me, just hang on for a minute. It'll all be over soon.
I want to get your thoughts on this, T. I mean, do you agree with Crystal? This is just this was going to be over soon, you think?
I mean, when she says, China's going to come over here and blast all our fucking heads off. Yes, yes, I get that. I agree there.
Thank you.
However, it's not going to be soon. It's not going to be soon. These trans people, they've taken over. They've done so. What's the buzzword on social media? Delulu.
What is it?
They're delulu.
Oh, delulu.
Delusional. They've taken over, and everyone is supposed to be accepting this. So it's actually going to be here for a while. Let me tell a story. Let me tell a story real quick. So I was at a university with my daughter yesterday, and I overheard a group of students. One was a white trans. Help me out. So he's a guy, but he thinks he's a girl.
Oh, a dick with a chick. A dick pretending to be
trans
a chick.
woman.
Yeah, trans, whatever they is. So he was having a conversation with other white people and two black people at the table, and he was like, I guess he may be in an education major, and he was saying,
Told you we thought.
Hold on. And then in school, he was like, oh, but if the student called me Mister, if they call me Mister again, I'm gonna slap him in the face. And I was like, and I thought about it. I'm like, oh wow, these transgender people, they're gonna start using this against our children.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
First of all, they're not gonna stop my child. They're not
No, they
gonna stop my
won't.
child.
No, they won't. You
but
guys.
let me say, no,
They're
they're
already
gonna use
doing
it.
it.
No, I'm Miss Whitaker.
They're already doing it.
They're already doing it, but they're going to directly say, no, I'm Miss Whitaker when you're clearly a man.
Yeah.
And if you call him Mister, you're going to slap my child in the face. Oh, no, the fuck you won't.
Exactly. And that's why I said I changed my word language. Transgenders are not taking over. You cannot take over,
They
sir,
are.
in a dress. And ma'am, you cannot take over when you have when you are not built to fight men that will actually slap you.
Okay, so I'm going to
We
make a
are
loose association.
We are literally talking about something that you cannot change. If they were to pull up your fossils, like like they can check and see like your bones.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it
They're
does.
doing it. They're doing it now. We started off early talking about corruption and lies, and then I don't know who. We made the point about the education system, right? This is the same system that is educated, and we're still sending our children there to be indoctrinated with this. So it's already happening. It's happening at the elementary level.
That's why they're taking over.
Well, why are we allowing our children? First of all, I'm a firm believer of I'm my child's first educator.
You're the
And if
first, but
anybody,
you're not the only.
let
Once
me
they get
tell
to the
you,
world,
and let me tell
not
you,
the only
if y'all are not having conversations with your 5-year-old to say, hey, do you know that there are women who think they're men and it's really silly?
That
They
doesn't
have
matter.
a problem
When they
and
get
they're
in-
crazy.
Crystal, when they get into the world, no matter what you say, when they get into the world is going to say, it's okay.
Again,
Let me tell you
Doesn't matter.
That conversation has to stop. It doesn't matter what I say as their parent.
Okay.
And when we keep saying to our children, it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter. Those are self-fulfilling prophecies that have changed our society. It matters what I say,
Well,
and
it
it
does.
better matter what I say.
Well,
The issue here
Until they get into the world.
Okay, like I said,
you can get loud all you want to, but until they get into the world,
it's gonna matter what
it's
I
a
say, 'cause
problem.
I'm mom.
The issue here is too many people have rolled over and taken
Yes!
and gone along with this.
Yes!
You know, I don't care how many people or how many times they say, you know, a he telling you she's a she, you're a he.
Mental.
Yes, sir. No, sir. You know, I'm not adding my pronouns in my email.
Right.
Yes!
I'm not adding it on Instagram. You
Right.
will not make me use these different word changes, you know, and whether you feel like I'm triggering you or I'm not doing the work. You know,
Right.
yo, I am not going along with your madness.
Yes.
And too many people have decided to go along with this, and this is how we got here.
Yes.
And
Look,
almost everything
starts
on all-
AJ wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
It has to stop with us.
We get you saying that. We understand. We agree with that.
The
But
world
point
is bigger.
That when we put our children out into the world, this is what they're going to experience. We need to equip them to fight back.
I
to push
agree.
back. And to be honest, that when they do, because this system is so wicked, right, and warped, that there are risks to do with that. So we need to prepare them. Their costs and benefits. Just saying, oh, you better not do. That's not going to stop them.
My
Not
daughter
only
did
that,
fight back.
These are the same experts, quote unquote, the same experts that we believe in and that we idolize, and we put on somebody with a title and letters behind their name. Oh, they must know more than us. Well, these are the same damn people who are telling your boys that they can create a vagina and your girl can stick on a damn dildo and say she has a dick. But these are the people that we idolize and pay for. It's all a circle. It's all feeding the same beast. From the education system to whatever. The corruption is at every level.
Yes.
They want to change America. I'm going to say it again.
It's society.
I'm going to say it again. The famous 13 words by that beautiful black president. We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America. It's not just your child. They want to change the whole damn country.
When we
have to
train,
push back, like you said.
when we train our children to fight back, which my daughter did, there are repercussions.
Exactly.
There are repercussions, and then it goes to the next level of hierarchy.
We're
not afraid.
We need to just
This is
equip
what
our
is
children with-
happening.
This is what we have to deal with. It's not going to be just like, oh, you better not say this. Okay, when you say this, I'm
There are
training my
repercussions
child to
against
say no
society.
or whatever the answer may be. But then there
gotta
will
be
be
prepared.
repercussions and consequences. But we need to prepare them and help them fight back through the consequences.
That's what I'm saying. Meaning, I believe you guys, y'all. I know everybody doesn't believe the Bible, but the Bible is clear when it says, train up a child in the way he should go. When he is old, he would not depart from it. The problem is we do not want to train.
Okay.
We keep sending our kids to school. Oh, the teacher's going to teach you this, and the teacher's going to. No, I have literally no teacher can brainwash my child. My child is brainwashed.
Well, you brainwash your child, but it's your child. You can do that.
Exactly.
But like, I mean, is it the women's fault? You know, is this
Yes.
is this the fault of women
Yes.
in society caving? And
Yes.
we've seen women in leadership positions
Women.
throughout society now. Is this the fault of women? This moves us to our next segment. So Candace Owens and Officer Tatum had a very interesting discussion recently regarding women in leadership. And basically, Candace Owens is saying that women in leadership are the reason why we are in the predicament that we are in. Take a look at this. This is clip number 7.
We actually believe that females can be pastors. And I just know that once again, as we discussed, break down that barrier of having men say, okay, this is what is and what is not, and you allow women to become dominant inside of the church, we are going to have a circumstance, which we already do have in the Protestant faith, of certain churches saying that it's fine to fly LGBTQ flags, that any person can go here because women, we are wired to be more emotional and to be more compassionate and to feel bad for a gay man. And you and I just talked about this at lunch, and it goes right in the theme of hyperfeminization, women having their emotions hijacked. I've been in this very weird theological climate, I guess you could say, in talking about why I am being drawn toward the Catholic faith, and away from Protestantism. And a huge component of that is when I hear these pastors that are getting loose on their biblical beliefs, or they actually believe that they're leaning more into the biblical beliefs, depending on who you're listening to, where they say, okay, no, we actually believe that females can be pastors.
All right. So I want to dig into some of the concepts that she mentioned. I don't want to dig too much into the biblical aspect of what she mentioned, because we'll be here all night. But what I would like to talk about is her contention, and take it further as far as more of a broader or macro scale. She contends that allowing women to be in dominant roles in church and society broadly has and will bring such things as LGBT flags in church and schools. So she's contending that because women are emotional, they're more likely to not to emphasize structure. It is a weakness within women, and therefore they are not ideal for leadership and to lead in different aspects. So I want to get I'll start with you, T, on this.
I bet.
Yeah, I mean, you know, do you agree with?
Check out the
Look,
shirt.
all you got to do is look at my shirt and see what I agree with. Man leads, period. Because in my experience, I am from the South, and I grew up in a holiness church in the South with a woman pastor. And I, even as a child, and I'm from Florida, so we say jit, even as a jit, I was like, no, this isn't right. And in my experience with women pastors, I can't do them. And aside from what the Bible says, I don't even really know what the Bible says about women's being in leaders or whatever in the church.
One wife.
Right. Like I said, I don't know what the Bible says, but in my experience, I've seen it firsthand where these women pastors who have husbands, they totally disrespect their husbands. And the husbands are just, what they call them, zeta, beta or something, zeta, simps, whatever, men who let the woman just do whatever. So yes, no, women should not be in leadership because they are, when it comes to pastorship. There are situations where I will have exceptions with women in leadership when it comes to, things that happen to do with the children or nurturing or something like that. I'll accept and I'll allow womanship. And otherwise, other than that, man leads. Woman follows. Sit yourself down, know your place, know your role, woman, and stop messing up stuff for the world. Because the woman is the center of society. And once the woman is not in place, everything else is going to falter. And that's why our children are messed up.
Yep.
Now I want to get to you, Shelly. I mean, you heard what Candace said. Now we want to take that on a broader aspect and talk about, in general, women in leadership. Is it a weakness of women in leadership across the board?
If you mean from an innate characteristic of women, yes, we are typically more emotional than men. However, again, I agree with T as far as women in the church, and I am not a Catholic, but I would not sit under a woman pastor.
Period.
I would not.
Right.
Now, and again, I know we're not talking about the church necessarily.
Right. I don't want to get in the weeds of church.
But let me just say that I would not sit under a woman pastor. So, from that emotional perspective, but I don't agree that women can never be in a leadership position. There are many careers, if you will, professions where women are and do and can lead. Now, because sometimes in those professions, whatever they may be, there may not be a man. And just because the man is there does not mean he has the skill set to lead that particular area, profession. That does not mean I'm knocking men. It doesn't mean I'm, elevating women. It just means that women can lead, and women run businesses, their own businesses, whatever that may be. So there are places for women outside of the home, but primarily women they do want to be with children. That's just an innate characteristic for most women. So again, the church is one thing. Saying women can never lead, I don't even know what that language means.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on this, Crystal? I mean, I know she mentioned within the church, but she did take it a step further and talk about, and we don't have the rest of the clip, but she did talk about women in leadership in general being emotional, that being a weakness, and lending to them not being able to provide structure which is needed within leadership.
I don't think emotionalism is a weakness, and I think that she's wrong to say that. I do believe that pastors, the Bible says, should be husband to one wife, so you can read into that whatever you want. But I have wonderful friends in the ministry that are pastors, and they're women. And
need to sit down.
God bless them. A leader is someone who is following you. So if they have followers, however, what I will say is I do believe that the best leaders that are females tend to take on male characteristics. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that effectively and provide that structure, then yes. I mean, there was a great leader in the military, Deborah, in the Bible. So you can, but I do agree with you guys that you will typically find male characteristics in good leadership.
First of all, men and women have some of each characteristic.
I agree.
So it's just that whichever characteristic tends to be expressed more in men versus women. Mm-hmm. So we have a little bit of both to a degree. So to say that, but I agree with you. Deborah was one in the Bible, yes, but there have been many women leaders in, again, various industries, and to say that women just can't lead because they're women, that's stupid.
Yeah.
I would never, I've said it so many times, for the president of the United States, I would never vote for a woman. I was on a campaign trail with, supporting a woman advocate, but, I felt like she could do the job. However, president, no. I would never. Hillary Clinton would never be.
I
voted for Hillary.
But what's interesting about that is that we've only had male presidents, and look what we have.
Yeah.
No,
so what you're saying?
To your point,
a woman might do something different.
I'm saying I agree with you. They are probably for women, but the flip side is that we've only had male presidents in the United States.
It should stay that way.
No, I agree with you, but the point is I'm making is that we haven't always had the best decisions from them either.
Well, that's in general. I mean, in general,
they only been men.
Well, no, but I'm saying
no one's gonna ever be perfect.
I didn't say perfect.
I didn't take on perfect. Well, they take on female characteristics, which is they become cowards and scary.
Trump didn't take on female characteristics.
Yes, he did. Bush, no, not Trump, but Bush did. He was soft. He was soft. He was easily manipulated. People got under his skin. For weeks, everybody was talking about Kanye West saying George Bush doesn't care about black people. Dude, you're the president. You way above all of that. When
that's the case, well, I know we're not talking about Trump, but that's the case, then what you're saying is the same thing people say about Trump because he's so sensitive. And then so come on.
Okay.
Well, women. Let me say this: women are running the country right now because Joe Biden isn't.
Well,
every time he's sitting down to sign executive orders, it's always a bunch of women behind him. Women are running this country right now, and this is why we're messed up.
But what about the idea what she said about that emotional aspect? She made the point, Candace Owens, about the idea that women are more likely to as far as, let's say, within the church, go beyond the idea that lesbians or gays, that's against the Bible, but because it might hurt someone's feelings.
That's just true.
That's the day of the time.
That's what
well, let me say. So
okay.
She's saying that the idea that women are more emotional, softer, and don't want to hurt someone's feelings, they will tend to not stick by the rules of the Bible.
I think we are more easily
That's
manipulated.
what he said. I said that.
From,
That's what he said.
I mean, but from Eve.
We are the ones who are more compassionate, whatever that means. Whatever. So we're going to say, I don't want to hurt people's feelings, which is why I'm going to plug myself, which is probably, I think I know this, why I get told, if I've been told once, it's been thousands of times. You're not nice. You're not compassionate. You're too hard. Whatever. Because I'm not acting on emotions most of the time. I am a female. I'm a woman. And sometimes I do. But most of the time I don't. And I don't give a damn. And it probably shows. And I think, and I've said this before, I think by me going into the military after high school, I think that helped me a lot. And I didn't realize how much it helped me until I became more of an adult, after the military. And I can look back and say, thank God I did. Because it helps me to kind of, shape my thinking.
Stay on time.
Instead of just
you help us to stay on time.
Instead of just acting on emotions, which I do sometimes. I'm not saying I never do, but I think having that military foundation helps me stay grounded in a lot of ways that I think most women are not able to.
Yeah, and like I said, like you take on, like I think we are, like you said, we are able to take on characteristics that are generally given to males, and unfortunately a lot of males are taking on characteristics easily manipulated, easily, like that are not really what are considered masculine. And so you typically see good leadership when you can have both. That's why we both need it.
Using buzzwords here, I would consider myself an alpha female, but that's only because I'm still feminine and I will submit to my husband. Hey husband, where you at? But I need a super alpha male.
I said that last
However, in the space of rearing children, and my parenting skills are logic and reason. Okay. Like I'm not so emotional where I'm like, I'm gonna tell my children the truth. Right. I'm gonna let them know. You're crying about something. No. Just get up. Be tough. Whatever. I'm very just real, 100%. I think my children appreciate that. I don't know. Either they're gonna be in a crazy house,
emotional,
but
I think people.
But it depends on your parent, like your individual person of how you give.
Your children. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think people sometimes they don't define or misunderstand the idea of emotional.
I agree.
Right.
Emotional is not just something that means soft. It also means someone that is
illogical, irrational.
Everyone has emotions, though,
but out of order.
Okay.
It's not in order, and then it also means someone who is not in the median range. They're always here, or they're always down
irrational.
here. Right. It's not. It's not a hyper. Yeah, it's not.
They're kind of hypersensitive.
Right. Not even so much sensitive, but to be emotional is to be is meaning that you're not within range. You're not. What's the word?
Even keeled.
Yeah. You're too hot. You're too up here, or you're too down here.
Yeah, I'm
Most men are very steady.
That's why they make better parents. Steady. That's why they make better parents.
I disagree. Vehemently.
Emotional is not steady. And so just because you're this type of person that you may be feel like you're not soft, or you may be good with decision making and stuff. Emotional is someone who is either all the way up here or all the way down here. There's no steady.
But they make because you can
drain.
No, but you can be you can be
Water
emotional.
signs.
It could plug for 45. You can be like emotional, but not make your decisions based off of that. And I think that that's a huge important piece, because I know a lot of men, especially alpha men, they are really like either here or here, but they make their decisions even keeled. And I think that's
what it
super,
boils down to.
super important, because you can debate on what personality somebody. I know a lot of dudes that act like they hard emotionally, but just based on their life decisions, like, you soft. You can't even control your temper. You hitting your wife. Like, you can't, like, bro, like, you not even killed at all. So
Right.
I think so plug for 45. Yeah, he does fight back, and yes, he does have a very
plug for 45 is emotional.
Well, but
No,
does he make?
very
But
emotional.
everybody thought he was gonna get us into wars that he didn't, because he said what he meant and meant what he said. His decisions were not emotional.
His decisions were very, like you said, stable.
So a person's
They were more
personality-
economical.
A person's personality.
We do have a situation where he has done certain things. Now, again, I thought, as far as his way he governed, for the most part, was good. But there were a lot of extra things that
But
just
who
were
cares?
unnecessary.
That's because it's personality.
I'm not saying anything
people
about.
have
We're just talking
personality.
about the man and being emotional.
Yeah.
Trump is very emotional, and he has made decisions that were brash and
Like
were
what?
not
I don't think
he's
measured.
made decisions.
Like, what
He's
decisions has he made that were brash? He
spoken.
hasn't made any decisions that were brash.
No.
Every decision he made is calculated.
He's spoken.
You mean as far
Every
as, okay,
decision.
tweets and things like that?
Yeah.
Just like the tweets and
That's not a
That's not a decision. That's his personality.
Well, decision means to do something. So anything you do is a decision.
But-
no?
Well, I'm talking about this dude in his
versus-
role. In his role.
Versus running the country.
Again, I'm not, because I know you guys are.
No. I'm really
MAGA,
trying to hear
MAGA.
you out. No, I'm really trying to
talking
hear you out.
about the man. I'm not talking about the office
man.
per se.
He's a person.
I'm talking about the man. I would not categorize Trump as, he's very emotional. And
He's a Gemini.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Well, no,
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think what you're saying, KJ, I hear what you're saying. I think I understand you. But I think, again, we talked about this earlier tonight too, how conservatives, we want to look like everything has to be always, whatever, play the part. What we don't do, I think a lot of times, we don't make a distinction. There are major issues and there are minor issues.
yeah.
So if Trump, he made good decisions for the most part on the major things. His temperament and his tweets, they got on my nerves too.
And his
But who
locker room-
cares?
and his locker room talk.
They were not decisions for the good or the bad of the country.
Locker room.
Yeah,
So,
I look at it like this. You can have two good. Let's say you have talking about soccer. You can have two good soccer players.
Right.
And I can't think of anybody offhand, but you may have one soccer player. They're both very good on the field, but one is extra all the time.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
that's
soccer.
soccer.
I guess you could say I was saying basketball.
Isaiah
But I was just
Thomas
talking about
used to play
soccer.
ball with Michael Jordan and all that.
One
I mean,
is
that
very
era.
extra, maybe getting fines for doing extra things on the field, unnecessary things.
Kate is a soccer
so
mom,
when you look at
FYI.
the two players, when you look at them across the magnitude of their careers, some people may say, you know what? I couldn't deal with all that extra stuff.
Right.
He was a good player.
Right.
But the extra stuff, I would go with the other person.
Right.
Some people may say, you know what? I don't mind all the extra stuff. I actually like the flair. I like them doing all that unnecessary stuff. So I'll go with them. It's just a matter of.
It goes back to talking about not just 45, but it goes back to, again, what values. There are a lot of values that we all may like or love or agree on outside, but then we need to prioritize those, because every value is not going to take the same place or the same priority. And that's what I think is going on in the Conservative Party right now. Everybody's important part wants that to be the first place. And it may not necessarily need to be, nor should it be. It might be an important value in and of itself, but it doesn't mean it needs to be the number one value. That's just...
Well, everybody has their own.
But I'm saying, we do, but that's what our party is a mess right now.
Yeah, and
our
honestly,
party
I'm okay
is a
with
mess.
it being a mess.
Yeah, because to me, again, I'm not just talking about the party. I'm talking about in general. The tone of any organization, any company, any group is set by the leader.
I agree.
So if the party is a mess, you look at the top. Who is at the top of the party, and that is how you determine why it is a mess.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that.
I mean, from a marketing perspective, it actually shouldn't be the top.
It's the finances.
It's the whole organization. The company should have a set tone,
A culture,
but
set
that
by
they
the leader.
set by.
But
No,
it's
not
set
set
by
by the
the
leader. It's set by the culture of the company. And as the Republican Party,
marketing.
we have platforms. So it's marketing, but I'm saying we have a platform that we should be sticking to. It doesn't matter who the leader is. They should be sticking to the platform.
You know what?
Yeah,
I think
it
I
does
think
matter.
I think a lot of
doesn't matter.
conservatives.
We don't have a platform. That's
President Trump is President Trump. He's not really.
He's not Republican.
He's not real Republican.
not
He's
really
sticking by the
Republican.
platform. He's sticking by President Trump.
Yeah.
But we have, and this is where our party is faltering because we haven't had that we've lost the foundation of who we are.
Well, you just made a good point. You know, when you talk about Trump has become larger than the party,
right?
In my opinion, he has become larger than the party. With the Democrats, no matter who is at the helm, the party is always the top priority.
At what cost, KJ? They have to sell their soul.
We don't care about that. Before we even get there,
I'm just saying. I'm saying that.
But at what
we don't have that.
Right.
No, we would have to sell.
We don't have it.
We don't have
to sell anything.
No, Trump is bigger than the party.
Yeah, but we don't have the party.
Right. And so, so that's one thing we probably need to look at is, if you believe in issues and you have certain issues and things like that, when you get to a point where the man becomes larger than the party, then idolatry comes into play, and obsession.
I get that.
On both sides.
I don't know if the man. I don't know.
We don't have the party. Well, again, if there's a vacuum, it's going to be filled by something.
Right.
So if it's not filled with the party, in this case, it's going to be filled with whatever, Trump or whoever it may be. But we don't have the party. I agree with what you're saying. We don't have a party to kind of take over, if you will, or overshadow this particular man called Trump.
But I don't think that. I guess I have to push back on the fact that I don't believe that he has become larger than the party. I think that he has pulled some people out of hiding that literally he's the face of the movement. And so to me, Republicans/Republicans didn't really know y'all pro-life, but then y'all not pro-life. Y'all pro this, pro that. No, he is literally dealing with people who are crazy who don't know what they want. He literally said
Trump put a Supreme Court on that was pro-life, and then literally several months ago came out against pro-life.
I know, because he's trying to meet you guys. This is what he said verbatim. He said, I am pro-life, what I think, but they want abortion. He said, we've got to come to a conclusion. He said, you cannot be aborting a 9-month-old baby. Right. You can't be aborting a 6-month-old baby. But maybe, mind you, he's the art of the deal. He said, maybe there's somewhere that we can all agree.
Actually, the polls show that the public wants
that.
So whether he's pro-life or
that's
not,
what I'm
he's talking about what the party wants. But he did put 3 Supreme Court justices.
Huh?
No,
it doesn't. How did it contradict?
He doesn't have to be pro-life or not. He's talking about the polls and what the people want.
I'm not arguing against that.
No, I'm saying he is sent. And so he is trying his best to serve people that are crazy. They are literally saying.
Why I'm going to my point where we need the principles and stick to that. Exactly. And the
he tried but no, what I'm saying is he did. These people wouldn't move on until they got a vaccine. They got the vaccine. They don't want to take the vaccine. Okay, he's trying his hardest.
No, Crystal, that's why there's no foundation. There's confusion.
Agreed.
Because we need the principles. We need a candidate. We need a candidate that sticks to the
there are
principles.
some people.
Fuck the people.
When Trump got elected,
there's some people.
When Trump got elected, when Trump got elected, people have gravitated to him. They are not generally about the principles of conservatism.
What
they
evidence
have
do you
gravitated.
have?
Why?
What evidence?
No.
You can't say because somebody has a Trump flag that they don't really
Make
believe.
America
Like,
great
that's what I'm saying. There's no evidence.
Populist.
No, okay, yeah, but the principles he ran on. I'm saying conservatives. I'm saying conservative, maybe small c. Limited government, reducing the size, reducing taxes, giving the people back their power, whatever. Those are conservative limited government principles. So whether they were popular or populist because they cut across all swaths of society. So yes, he did run on those principles. Now, whether or not he believes them personally,
it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
So then we have lost, again, the Republican Party. We don't have the principles. We've lost our foundations. So Trump is filling that with himself or whatever. So people are gravitating towards him because they see him as the spearhead of basically, again, draining the swamp. Republicans won't do it. When he was in office the first time, the Republicans, oh, he's too brash, he's too that. They couldn't even come up with a daggone tax code to keep it in law, to make it a permanent law. It was only going to be for 2 or 3 years. Come on, we had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and we still couldn't pass laws that would be permanent on the books. No,
and this is why women should be far away from decision making. Getting back to the subject at hand.
Right. Well, we do have to go. We have to set. Yeah, we have to close out, end the show. So this does bring us to the end of the show. So we thank you guys so much for watching. Continue the conversation by checking us out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and subscribe. That way you get up-to-the-minute content when we post, and we appreciate the support. Each time you subscribe, it does make our voice that much stronger. You can also check us out on our website at www.popandpoliticslive.com for up-to-date information. Again, we are a necessary voice in news and entertainment. We are really striving to reach 50,000 subs by the end of the year. Please share, and subscribe to this broadcast to help us reach our goal. We truly appreciate it. We appreciate all you guys who have been super chatters tonight. Certainly appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. So until next time, count your blessings and live a life of purpose. Good night.
Good night.
What a honey.
So much.